Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see use Ansible to manage web traffic with Azure Application Gateway. So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. I'm logged on to the portal and I will launch Azure Cloud Shell. I will open up Notepad++ because I will have to copy and paste the Ansible runbook that I will implement and create the application gateway on Azure using Ansible. I'll delete the existing one and paste the new code. So first of all, I will create the resource group. So I will create the rg.yaml file. rg.yaml, and I will paste what I have copied. Okay, I will then I will escape shift :W2 enter, come out of it, and before running the playbook, then I will create the resource group called my resource group. If you want to see it again, I'm creating host connecting to local host variables. I'm defining is that the resource group is called my resource group. Location would be East US, and then I'm defining the task in the Ansible playbook to create a resource group with the name and the location that I have mentioned. Okay, escape shift :W2 enter, and I'll do Ansible playbook rg.yaml. It will create the resource group. Let me drag that up. It created the resource group. Now I will create network resources. So the code that I will paste to create network is to enable application gateway to communicate with other resources. So I'll create the virtual network named myVNet inside the resource group that I just created. I'll create subnet, public IP address, public domain. I'll define the address space, subnet name, the DNS servers. I'll create a subnet, I will create a public IP address. And let me just paste the code here. So I would name it vnet underscore create .yml. Okay, I'll have the code here. You see here I'm defining connecting to local host. Variables that I'm defining is resource group, location is East US, VNet name is my VNet, subnet name is my AG subnet, public IP address that I will create is my AG public IP address, domain is my domain. Then I'm defining the task to create a virtual network and defining the address prefixes, defining the DNS servers to which this virtual network would point. So whenever you create a virtual network in Azure, it points to Azure provided DNS servers by default. Then I will create a subnet. The subnet address range, CIDR range would be 10.100/24. I would create a public IP address. The allocation method would be dynamic. Okay, I'll do shift :W2 enter. I will do Ansible playbook and then the name that I create .yml. Alright, it is creating it. Okay. Let me pause the video and come back. Okay, so DNS record is my AG public IP address is already in use, so I'll change it. So I'll do this. I'll go up. I will change the name to my Azure public IP address. So see, I'm not able to edit. So press Shift I to enter the insert mode in the VI editor. Then you will do my Azure public IP address. Then Escape Shift WQ enter. Then we'll use the same command. I will edit the DNS name as well. I will Shift I. I'll do Azure domain. So my Azure public IP address and Azure domain. Escape. Enter. It is created. So now if I log on to the portal and just to check if those resources were created or not, if I go to all resources, so see, I have my Azure public IP address, my VNet, I have domain, and then I have default workspace, and then I have, if you will see under the resource group, I would have my resource group as well. See, okay. Let's go back here. Now I will create servers. So in this part, we'll create 2 Azure container instances with HTTPD images to be used as web servers for the application gateway. Right, so I'll do vi ACI underscore create.yml. Okay, I see here. So location, my resource group, East US, name would be this. ACI name, location, my container, HTTPD, IP address is public, container. Okay. Do this, Ansible playbook, create.yml. And we'll see. Okay, now that is done, now we will create the application gateway. I will do the file, so I will do app create.yml. Okay, so if you would see, host, local host, connection, my resource group, my VNet, my subnet. So this here is not the name of the public IP address because I created it my Azure public IP address. Here, so I will have the insert note. Azure public IP address, subnet, virtual network, info of the backend server, which are my container instances. Then create instance for the application gateway. Here, front end and the app gateway front end port, backend pool, front end IP configuration, listeners, then the routing rules. That is it. Escape, enter. I'll do Ansible playbook, create.yml. It is creating the task one by one. Let's see. it is now creating instance of the application gateway. Okay, it is done. And now if I want to test the application gateway, I would go, I'll refresh it, and my app gateway. This is my front end IP. And I do this. So this is the name that I gave to the domain that I created. And if it works. Okay, it is able to reach the backend and it is able to show the configuration. So just a recap, we created the resource group, we created network resources, and the public domain name that you see, asadomain.eastus.cloudapp.azure.com, is the public IP domain that I associated with the public IP name. So when I was creating a public IP address, I set the allocation method as dynamic, and the domain name label that I chose was asadomain.eastus.cloudapp.azure.com. And that is how it works. So this is how we do it, and to save myself from extra cost, I'll go to the resource group. I'll do I go here. You can delete it from the Ansible playbook as well. The rg.delete rg.yaml playbook, the way that I create, but we'll just delete it here. And I'll do this, and delete. Okay, so it will delete each and everything. You can use the playbook, define the Ansible playbook to delete the resource group as well. Okay, so if you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.